BABYKLOK Tour. I meet my first person that hates Japanese music and actually tells me that he hates Japanese music and doesn't realize that I'm wearing a Babymetal shirt the entire time. It was insane. We pulled up there about 2 to 3 hours early, standing in line, and we're just going on talking to everyone that was in the group or in the area. But we were sitting there and I asked him, like, so who are you here for? And he's like, I'm here to see Dethklok and only Dethklok. No one else. He's like, I can't stand that Japanese shit. I'm like, oh, and I'm just responding like, well, you know, I'm here for all the bands, you know, to each their own. And I don't think he realized I had a Babymetal shirt on at all, because he kept going down this path of like, just like shitting on it, and then that's all he wants to hear. And the funny thing is, later on at the concert, he actually stays for Babymetal. He stays to the very end. So after he just told us how he was going to be leaving the concert right after Dethklok, he actually stayed in front and was bobbing his head. That's pretty cool that Babymetal possibly changed his fans' mind. My name's Alan. I'm a sound engineer and musician. We're going to do a review of the BABYKLOK Tour. This is my second show that I've seen. This was out in Omaha, Nebraska. Shout out to Tim, who helped me get to this concert. There's like no one here. Special thanks to you. Now, this concert for me was way different than the last concert I saw. At this one, I was way up front, and to be honest, being way up front was not so great. I mean, it was awesome seeing the girls right up front, but there's a couple of things that happened that just did not help with the sound. And two things were, we had all the subwoofers at the bottom of the stage that were down there. Not really a big issue, but the way that some of this was mixed with the light show, it just caused some problems. And I'll get to that in just a second. Now, Jason Richardson kills it like always. He just shreds our face off for the entire 35 minutes that he's up on stage, non-stop. Just, you are grated cheese by the end of this. But one thing was, the light show was definitely way more enjoyable for me back in New York compared to this show, where you're right up front and the lights, you can kind of see the outlines, so you don't really get a good show from it. But other than that, it's still cool because you get to see him play. One of my favorite songs that I did hear during the set was the one where he has the lead singer from Periphery on his track. That's probably one of my more favorite ones. And the Tim Henson one was also pretty cool to hear. It was definitely different this time around because I got to know his music a little bit more. So with that being said, this was a little bit more enjoyable for me because I got to know the music a little bit better. I still, however, wish there was a full band. I'm sorry. Let me know what you guys think. I still think it's weird just one person playing guitar. I still think if you're going to do the whole guitarist virtuoso thing, at least have a backing band. I think it would be a little more entertaining. But that's just my bias. Again, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Now, Dethklok. I don't even know where to start with this one, because let's just say they brought the pain. They brought the brutalness. My eyes felt like they were going to disintegrate with all the flashing lights and the bass and the kick drum. The bass was so loud in the front, and the lights were just nonstop, like like constantly in the face, and I had to close my eyes. Like, they dried out. It says, like, in the beginning of their concert, this may cause seizures. I think they were trying to give out seizures at this concert. Guys, chill out with the lights. You're going to kill all the fans up front. And if I remember correctly, there was a fan that up front that fainted actually during this concert. So it was just insane how much flashing was going on. You think they'd have a breather, but no, it's nonstop. Again, this is one of those moments where I wish I was in the back watching them, because it's definitely better in the back because you're not getting blinded by all those lights. It was interesting to see everybody up close because you can clearly see everybody because they're kind of blacked out for most of the concert until the very end. Now, something that was interesting, so I filmed some B-roll, but I wasn't sure if it was not allowed to film Dethklok, but the drummer flipped me off like multiple times. He looked straight at me and flipped me off. So I don't think I was supposed to film, but they took a picture and they filmed some stuff at the end of them and the fans. So I guess it was okay to do so. Maybe that's just his thing.
really quick picture.
Maybe I'm tripping out. Let me know down below. But with that being said, guys, I definitely recommend watching the movie, watching the show if you want to go to a Dethklok concert, because you'll understand maybe the references better. I just didn't enjoy it the second time around. I think a lot of it might have had to do with me being up front. I think it was more enjoyable when I was in the back. This time around, I wasn't feeling it. The New York show is definitely better in my opinion. Now, another thing I want to mention, for those of you that are planning on going to a Babymetal concert and you're bringing your young ones, because I think a lot of these are all ages, there is actual cartoon sex scenes in this, so keep that in mind, and there's a lot of explicit content. I just don't agree with this mashup altogether, since there is so many young fans for Babymetal. I just think it should have been stated somewhere saying this is like a 21 and up show or something, or 18 and older show. That's just what I think. Let me know what you guys think. All right, then we have Babymetal. Babymetal comes on, and right out the gate, the screen does not work for Babymetal Death. They still went through with it. You had a big black strip going down the center of it, and by Gimme Chocolate, though, they had it all figured out, and we could see the full screen. Now, unfortunately, there was still more technical issues later on in the songs where the mic was having a lot of feedback as going in and out. Gimme Chocolate starts. And the crowd goes wild. They always do with the song. Everyone was singing it. It was really awesome to hear. It leads us right into Papa Yad. They pretty much follow the exact same set list. They only sub out one song, which is either going to be like Believing or Mirror Mirror, or what I got was Maya, which was crazy. So after Papa Yad, we got Distortion afterwards, and then BMC, which was heavy as hell. And just as good as New York. Which I wasn't expecting. I was kind of hoping for Mirror Mirror, but we got Maya, and it was badass. It's actually one of my favorite songs off of the new album, so I was excited to hear that either way. I remember pointing to other people like, oh my god, it's Maya playing, which was really awesome. So then we get Monochrome, where they have the lights going and they're showing. It's a beautiful moment. It's always bright. It always feels like the lights are just turned on at that moment. And then Medley came. Now, something interesting about Medley, we got the normal instrumental in the beginning, like we've been seeing at all these concerts that are happening here in the US. But that guy I talked about in the beginning, we kind of looked over to see if he was there still, because he got the rail. He also got the rail like we did, and we kept looking to see if he was getting into it, and we noticed that he was bobbing along. So I really do think he enjoyed Babymetal a little bit more than he anticipated, or he was putting out a front in front of his friend. I don't know which one it is, but it was still cool to see him bob his head to it, and he stayed for the whole show. Medley plays. We had a mosh pit. Mosh pit was a little weak, I gotta say. Mosh pit was a little weak. This crowd was a little weak. Just saying. I'm just kidding though. It looked like everybody was having a great time either way. It was still awesome, and it was still a good show. Megasune starts. We have the intro. Everyone's chanting along. It was really hyping up the song. And then we go into the usual headbanger, and then we close out with Road to Resistance. It was really good. Definitely not as good as the New York one. There's a lot of audio issues that were happening with Sue's vocals, unfortunately. The sound was a little weird. It did stabilize for Babymetal, though. The sound for Babymetal was way better than the sound for Dethklok. Dethklok was just, like I said, they just pounded your face into oblivion. It was just really fucking brutal. I gotta give them that. If that was the goal, to be brutal and to melt your face off, they did it. What was the best thing about the show?
Babymetal.
With that being said, guys, let me know if you enjoyed these concert review type reactions. I'll do more of them if you're into them. Check out my New York City concert review of BABYKLok right here.